Good evening, everyone. This is Coach Rebecca with RG Coaching Consulting, and we are back this week. I'm going to wait a few minutes to give others time to jump on, and then we're going to get started. I'm going to share my screen and drop our hashtags for tonight in the chat. Good evening, Miss Ebony. How are you? If you are I'm sorry, I was something on my screen. Excuse me. If you are ready to share, please go ahead and share this with your social media followers and drop the hashtags below that are listed in the comments, one or all. It does not matter, but I would greatly appreciate it if you share with your audience as well as I am sharing with mine in multiple platforms. And like I said, we're going to get started in a little bit. We're just waiting, give people a little more time to jump in, and then we will get started. I hope that everyone is having a great evening. Just like I said with the last time, I'll be looking back and forth between two screens. So if you see me look away, I am not ignoring you. I am looking at another screen to make sure that I can see and talk about what I'm talking about. All right. Gonna wait about 2 more minutes, guys, and then we'll get started. If you would like to get the companion for this series, it is located on my website, rgcoachingconsulting.org, and you can download that for a small investment of $10. But that is where I get most of the information from for this series. So make sure you check that out at rgcoachingconsulting.org. 1 more minute, guys, and we will get started. All right, guys, it is 8:03, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome back to those who joined us on last week. I see Miss Ebony is one of our returning guests from last week, and welcome to those of you who are new this week. If you would drop your name and say hello in the chat where you are from, so I can see who is representing and who is tuning in on tonight. I would advise you, if you are using this for personal development, professional development, get your pen and paper so that you can keep notes and keep up with what we are sharing on tonight. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Well, no, let me give you a little preliminary. I'm sorry. I'm so eager. I'm getting ahead of myself. So tonight we are talking about confidence as a leader. This is one of the questions that was posed for those who registered for the event. Good evening, Barbara, or B as I call her affectionately, author extraordinaire. She is on the line again. B, drop the link to purchase your book in the comments for us so they can check that out. But tonight we're talking about confidence as a leader, and usually confidence as a leader starts confidently in your personal life. And so we're going to dive into some definitions, of course, and then we're going to do a couple of activities just to help us figure out where we are on the confidence spectrum and how we need to build our confidence, if we need to build our confidence, and just some tips and tools that you can use as you progress in leadership. As you know, leadership is not a one stop shop. Leadership is progressive. And so there'll be different areas of leadership that you will need to build your confidence in. While you might be confident in a particular area, one that you are being promoted to or challenged with, you might need to build in that area. And so the tools that we're going to share tonight will definitely be some that you can use as you progress along the way in multiple platforms of leadership. That's whatever area you are leading in or you are aspiring to lead in. These tools will definitely help you along the way. So without further ado, I cannot talk tonight, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So as always, you know, I am a teacher, so I want to definitely get started with our bell ringer or our do now. So what I want you to do is to list everything that you think confidence is and everything that you think confidence is not. And for those who are bold enough to share, go ahead and drop that in the comments. Everything you think confidence is and everything you think confidence is not. Go ahead and drop that in the chat if you'd like to share. Otherwise, make your own list and we will move on. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to do that. And I do have a timer for real. I know 30 seconds is long. I'm going to give y'all 1 minute. I'm trying to be mindful of everyone's time. So I'm going to give you 1 minute. Everything confidence is, everything confidence is not. And those who are willing to share, drop it in the comments for me. Last week we had our comment section was popping. So I want to see those this evening sharing their thoughts and feelings about what we're talking about on this evening. It takes confidence to share your thoughts. So go ahead and drop those thoughts in the chat for me. And just like last week, if you guys see me drinking water, it's because I'm talking too much. Oh goodness. Yes. For those of you who are not who did not follow the StreamYard instructions or you didn't see the StreamYard instructions, make sure you put your name with your comment so that I can shout you out. But thank you to who just said confidence is being bold and standing firm on what you believe and is not being insulting. Absolutely. Confidence is not insulting. Okay. All right. We're going to move forward. You can continue to drop your comments in the chat. All right. While you are still dropping your information in the chat, thank you, Tiffany. While you're still dropping your information in the chat, just going to give you a few things about me. I am Rebecca Gregory, owner of RG Coaching Consulting. And you can see on the screen, I hold several degrees. And I am now a 5-time published author. I'm co-host of Beginning Authors Workshop and a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Just a couple of things about me, just so we can be on a personal level and I can get to know you at a little later time. All right. So, what is the definition of confidence? Confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. It's a firm trust. It's the state of feeling certain about the truth of something. It's a feeling of self-assurance from one's appreciation of one's abilities and qualities. And that is the definition that we're going to focus on tonight. Hello, Miss Cora. Yeah, that's my ASU mom. Yeah, she helped develop me and shape and mold me. Thank you so much for joining tonight. All right. So we're going to focus on the feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. Okay. So while we're going through this entire presentation, I want you to think about what are your abilities? What are your qualities? What do you appreciate about your abilities? What do you appreciate about your qualities? All right. So, if you are lacking in confidence, that is because somewhere along the line, insecurity has hit you. And we've got to figure out why. Now, I will share this information. Some of this that I'm sharing tonight comes from my confident, not conceited workshop. And so if you decide to enroll, and then I'll get into that a little bit later, you will see some of this again, but definitely take down these notes for your future reference. All right. So when did I encounter insecurity? Again, if you're lagging somewhere in confidence, insecurity has struck you from some direction. So I want you to think of one or two people for the sake of time, or situations that made you feel insecure or less confident. Write them down, and underneath it, tell what that situation did to you to make you feel insecure. Tonight is going to be a lot of interaction, a lot of introspection. You're going to really look at yourself on tonight, because the only person who can build your confidence is you. I can give you all the tips, tools, tricks of the trade, a book, a notebook, a workbook, a portfolio. But if you are not honest, and if you are not truthful, and if you are not looking at yourself, then nothing is going to change. So think about a time where you felt insecure and your confidence was knocked down a little bit. What happened, and how did it make you feel? I'll give you about 30 more seconds for that. And if anybody wants to share a quick story, you can drop it in the comments, or a quick moment that happened, you can drop it in the comments. For those of you who are just coming in, please, please, please share this with your social media followers, and you can use the hashtags that are located in the comment section. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight for part 2 of Leadership 101. Tonight we're talking about confident leaders. All right. So with that insecure moment, what did you do? Did you respond in a negative fashion? Did you retreat? Did you lash out? Did you internalize it? Did you allow it to define who you were, how you behave, how you act, how you perform? What did you do when you encountered that moment of insecurity? Absolutely. Most times those moments set you back, and you definitely have to revisit the test again. Ooh, during parenting, let me tell you something. Parenting will test your confidence like nothing else. And it's not just parenting as a whole, it's the levels of parenting. When they're babies, you are, especially when you have your first child, you're constantly wondering, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Am I doing the right thing? And then they become toddlers. Okay, don't eat this, don't go there, don't put this shoe on, don't do this too early, don't do this too late. Then they get in school. Are they in the right school? It's so many different things with parenting as they progress that your confidence is definitely tested. So that was an excellent one, Miss Nicole. And every day, Ebony. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna see if we can give you some things that's gonna help you with that confidence every day. All right. So dealing with insecurity and dealing with confidence, you have to understand a few things, because if you don't understand how to make those things balance out, you won't build that confidence. So the first thing you have to understand when we are building confidence is you have to respect the value of you. A confident person does not seek to create their value, they seek to understand their value. You are a unique person all by yourself. There is nobody on earth who is like you. You may have a friend, you're similar, y'all think alike, you might dress alike, you might wear your hair alike, but you are you, and your friend is who they are. Okay? You don't seek to create your value, you seek to understand your value. A confident person knows the value that they possess, however, it must be defined. Okay? No one can define your value but you. And oftentimes we have given others that power when we should not have. Okay? No one else can define your value but you. You have the responsibility to identify your value. You hold the key to unlocking, understanding, and unleashing the value that's already within. So let's look at a couple of the ways that we respect the value of you. First, you have to identify your value, acknowledge your abilities and talent, acknowledge education, any education that you have. Education is not just degrees, it's not just a diploma, but any life can bring education, okay? Acknowledge experiences. And it's not just speaking of job experiences. Sometimes your life experience can equate to what you are doing on your job or the area of leadership that you're operating in. So you have to acknowledge those, okay? Then you have to have an open mind. You have, y'all look, I'm sorry. There is a fly in my house. So if you see me do this, it's because the fly is trying to attack me. I feel like Mike Pence. All right. So we are unlocking our value. You open your mind, you open your doors. What doors? Any doors of opportunity. You have to open them. They're not always, sometimes we are sitting there waiting on a moment and the moment is waiting on us. The door has been unlocked. All we have to do is turn the knob and walk in. Okay. Open your voice. Confident people are vocal. Confident people are vocal. Okay. Next thing, understand your value. You inquire about your strengths. You inquire about your weaknesses. You inquire about your opportunities. We all know what we're strong doing. We all know what we're weak. Might not want to admit it, but we know where we're weak. And we know that sometimes we miss opportunities or sometimes we give opportunities away. But you will not understand your value if you are not building your strengths, if you're not figuring out your weaknesses in order to build them, and if we're not asking and taking the opportunities that are presented to us. All right. And fourth, you have to unleash that value. How do you unleash the value that's in you? You release your inhibitions. What is it that is holding you back? What has you hesitant to take the next step or hesitant to say what needs to be said? Remember, we just said confident people are vocal. What is stopping you from saying what you need to say? Okay. We have to remove obstacles. What have we put in place that is blocking our confidence, that's blocking us from seeing our value? What obstacles are present that are keeping us away from maximizing and understanding and unlocking and identifying our value? And then finally, we realize our potential. What is it that is in you that is dormant because you are not walking in confidence? What is it that is in you that is dormant because we are not walking in confidence? All right. Activity. So, what I want you to do, all right, I want you to pretend you have a mirror in front of you, or you can go jump in front of a mirror and ask yourself if you like what you see. Honestly, look at yourself. You pull out your phone, pull up the camera on your phone, look at yourself and ask yourself, do you like what you see? And then I want you to think of two things that you love about yourself. Not business wise, just you in general. What do you love about yourself? I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to do that. Just ask yourself, do you like what you see? And write down two things that you love about you. All right. Now, I want you to look at yourself again. What is one thing that you want to improve about yourself? What is one thing you want to improve about yourself? Don't tell me the lines in your face. Don't tell me if I can get this hair together. But seriously, what is one thing you want to improve about yourself that you think will affect your overall being? And I want you to drop it in the comments. Y'all being a little shy on tonight. Drop these comments down for me. 2 things you love about yourself and 1 thing you want to improve about yourself. When I was building my confidence, this was definitely something that was hard for me to do because it made me be real with myself. It made me be transparent. And it made me look at who I really am and what I really like and what I really dislike. Okay, Ebony, she loves her heart, her eyes, and she wants to improve patience. Now I can definitely, Ebony, me and patience, we do not have a love affair. So I can definitely relate to that. Barbara says she loves her positive outlook and determination. I can agree with that. She is one of the most positive people that I know, and she wants to improve on procrastination. I can definitely relate to that as well. Procrastination will steal a lot from you. Absolutely. It will have you sitting on ideas, and you look up 2 weeks later after you knew you were supposed to do something and you see somebody else doing it and you kicking yourself in some part of your body because you knew that you had the same idea and you did not jump on it, you procrastinated. Okay, you can continue to drop your thoughts and traits and attributes about yourself in the chat. I'm going to move forward so we can stay on task. All right. So when you are building self-confidence, there are a few things that you need to keep in mind. And I'm going to give you 6 steps to building self-confidence. And I'm just going to share these steps. And these go into detail in the manual. So if you have the manual, you can definitely check those out. But I'm going to give you these 6 steps because they are important to building your self-confidence. Okay. Number 1, and these are not in any particular order. I'm just going to read them as they are on the screen from the top down. Be honest. Okay. You cannot build confidence if you are lying to yourself. You will not build confidence in who you are if you are trying to be somebody else. You cannot build confidence in you if you are trying to imitate. Okay. You have to be yourself. You have to be honest about where you are. You have to be honest about who you are. Okay. Which leads me to the next one. Number 2, be authentic. We've heard the phrase in times past that it is better to be yourself than try to be someone else because everybody else is taken. Be you. The world is waiting for you to be your authentic self. The world is waiting for you to show up. They're waiting for Barbara. They're waiting for Ebony. They're waiting for Tiffany. They're waiting for Nicole. They're waiting for Cora to be your authentic self. Will you be in a room with like-minded people? Absolutely. But like I said in the beginning, there's only one you. And your authenticity is what people are looking for, what people are needing, and what people are demanding from you. If you are a leader in any capacity, authenticity is number 1 to being a confident leader. Your team will follow what they see. If they see you being yourself, if they see you being authentic, that will encourage them and admonish them to do the same thing. And then we have everybody utilizing their value and maximizing their potential. And we have a team that's rolling and being productive. And we have a team that is making strides. So definitely be authentic. Number 2, Display strength. Who told you to play small? Who told you to appear weak? Who told you that you had to downplay your knowledge, your wisdom, your abilities, your talent? Who told you that? Somewhere along the line, we got the wrong memo that we have to pretend that we're not strong. And I'm not talking about trials making you strong. I'm talking about that you are a strong person and that you're strong in particular areas and that you're strong vocally. You're strong in whatever capacity it is. Who told you not to display it? It was a lie. So do not be afraid to display your strength. Do not be afraid to display what you can do well. If you are good at making PowerPoints, then make the PowerPoints. If you are good at speaking and diffusing situations, step up and diffuse a situation. Whatever it is that you are good at, that you do well, that you are strong in, make it known to the world. And I'm talking about juice it, maximize it, use it. Just like a muscle, the more you work it, the more you build it. And the more you're able to do with that muscle. The strengths that you have, when you start displaying them and people are asking you to use them, the bigger and the better they will be. Number 4, understand values. And we just went over those. You have to understand the value of you. And then on the second part of this understand values, you have to understand what are your core values. We have all either currently worked for companies or we have worked for companies and they have mission statements and they have the core values of the company. What are your core values? What are some non-negotiables when it comes to you? What is it that you believe in that you are not willing to compromise? What is it that you believe should be that you know is no other way for you to go? What are your values? What do you value? Who do you value? You have to understand those to be confident. Because if you don't understand your values, you will constantly go back and forth between everybody that you encounter, trying to be their values, trying to make their values yours. And it's not a fit. It doesn't work. It's clashing and it's causing friction and it's causing frustration because you are not being true to your values. All right, number 5. As a confident leader, you must you must be willing to laugh. We see people in positions all of the time who are screaming that they are a leader and they are mean and they are stuffy and you can't. I'm talking about the office is just tight. It's tension. I hope you're not that person, but if you are, today is the day for you to change. You have to be willing to laugh. You have to be willing to laugh at yourself because you're going to make mistakes. You are going to have moments where you just, I'm talking about drop the ball. And it might not be a funny situation, but you know what? I messed up. I messed all the way up. I did not do that right. And you laugh at yourself. And when you give yourself permission to make mistakes, then you allow yourself permission to correct the mistake. But when you constantly beat yourself down and you don't give yourself that room and that grace, then you can't get past the mistake and it starts a domino effect. Most times it starts a domino effect and you're so beat up on the mistake that you made. You're not focused on the next move. So you make another mistake and it keeps going and going and going. But when you give yourself permission to be human and you give yourself permission to laugh and you give yourself permission to just be in that moment, you start to build your confidence. Like, you know what? I missed that mark. So let me figure out, let me retract, let me step back, let me look at it and see what I need to do. Girl, look, the next time I do that, tell me, slow down, or whatever it is that you need to do to put something in place to give yourself grace and be willing to laugh. Do that. And then last but not least, in building self-confidence, you have got to share your accomplishments. I don't know who told the lie that you could not toot your own horn. Beep, beep is what I say. I'm talking about everything. I'm not talking about being arrogant. I'm not talking about being arrogant. Confidence is not arrogance, it's assurance. And when you share your accomplishments, you are letting the world know that, look, I put in the work, I paid my dues, and yes, this is my resume. And this is what I have to do. Absolutely, Nicole. Celebrate you. If you don't celebrate you, you cannot expect anybody else to celebrate you. You cannot be sitting back with this false humility, waiting on somebody to say, well, Terry she did a good job. And, we're so proud and we're so no, you be proud of your doggone self. Be happy for yourself first, and then allow others to celebrate you, and then allow others to talk about your accomplishments. But you better believe my resume is listed because I have paid some dues to get to where I am today. Okay. Every time I talk to somebody, yes, I have this degree. Yeah, I do. I have 5 books. Yes, I sure do. And it's like, again, it's not in an arrogant manner, but I am tooting my own horn because I am proud of who I have become. I am proud of the things that I have done. I am proud of the places that I have gone. I am proud of the people that I have been able to help just by sharing my story. When you share your accomplishments and you share them in a genuine manner, you never know who you are helping to move to the next level. Sometimes you just talking about what you did at 30 is helping someone who's struggling right now on making the next move because they're feeling, I'm too old to do that, or it's past my time in that particular thing. Share those accomplishments. I'm talking about share, and share. Okay? All right. Another thing that kind of stifles our confidence is when we fade into the background. And here goes that word insecurities again. Okay. We fade into the background because we often feel like, well, that's where I'm a worker bee. And so that's what I'm going to do. And that's just where I'm comfortable. And so this is my area. Well, who told you that? Who told you that you had to be a background person? Thank you so much, Miss Cora. Who told you that you were supposed to be a background person? Who said you had to be a worker bee? Yes, you absolutely should know how to serve. Do not get it twisted. That is not what I'm saying. But who told you that you had to stay in the background for everything? Who said it? Was it you? Was it someone way back in childhood, teenage years? As an adult, someone said, well, stay in your lane. That phrase can be very detrimental. Who told you or what made you feel like you're a background person, that you are not leading in the area of confidence that you need to be leading in, that you are leading afraid, that you are leading in a comfortable state? You're not taking chances. You're not being risky. And I don't mean just a reckless risk. I mean a calculated risk. Who told you that you had to stay back and not do that? Okay. What insecurities do you have that cause you to hide behind a role or from a role? Who has approached you about a position and you turned it down because you said, well, that's just not me. I think I'm comfortable where I am, and I'm gonna stay right there. But deep down, way down, you wanted that position and you knew that you could do the position, but that confidence wasn't there for you to go after the position. What happened? What are the insecurities that are blocking you? And this is just a thinking moment. so that we can get all of the negative out of the way so that we can positively build our confidence. All right, here we go. The confidence killers. Okay, fear is a major contributing factor that makes us think we cannot lead effectively and confidently. What are those fears? Fear of failure, fear of being abandoned in that position, fear of criticism, fear of responsibility, fear of being an imposter, fear of making a mistake, and last but certainly not least, fear of success. Well, why would you say fear of success, Rebecca? Because success brings responsibility. And oftentimes we feel like we don't have the confidence to handle that responsibility that comes with success. So we fear it. We don't want to make mistakes when we're in leadership. We don't want to make mistakes when we have people under us. We don't want to make mistakes when we have a team following us. So we'll back away from the team so we don't have to face that fear. Fear of being an imposter. We're so busy trying to look the part that we're not being the part. And so we're canceling it out. Fear of responsibility. Again, that can be pressure. It definitely can. But who told you had to fear responsibility? We take on responsibilities every day. If you're a parent, you have responsibilities whether you want them or not. And you have to face them. Okay? Fear of criticism. We don't like people to tell us, yeah, that's not good. That is one of my biggest issues. I am just now really learning how to handle criticism. And I'm not talking about negative criticism. I'm talking about constructive criticism. That is an area that I really struggle in. But it's something that I have acknowledged and something that I'm definitely dealing with. Okay? Fear of being abandoned. We do not want people to leave us in any capacity. In leadership, we want to have people around us. We don't want to be alienated. But as a leader, as a confident leader, sometimes you'll be doing it alone because you have to step out. You have to be that trailblazer, okay? And feel fear of failure. We don't want to fail. And that's all of these are fears that are common and fears that are human, but we have to acknowledge the fears that are blocking our confidence. So what I want you to do, drop in the chat if you identified with any of these fears listed on the screen. And we are winding down, guys. Again, these are just some tips and some thoughts to get your minds to thinking on how to build your confidence. Absolutely, Ebony. That is most people who are in leadership, just people in general, making a mistake, knowing that others are depending on you. Absolutely. I can definitely relate to that. Anyone else brave enough to share? Fear of failure. Yes, Nicole. That is one that I constantly battle. And listen, just because you acknowledge these fears doesn't mean that you're weak. That is proof that you're strong. You're strong enough to acknowledge the areas that are giving you struggle. Okay? You're strong enough to know, okay, this is what I need to work on. And so that in and of itself shows that you are working towards building that confidence. Fear of success. Absolutely, Nicole. Success is scary because you have to do so much, but it's definitely worth it. All right, guys, we're going to move forward. Absolutely. Okay. In conclusion, guys, confidence is your guiding force in whatever level of leadership you are in. What can you do well in that role? How can you delegate in that role? And who can assist in that role? As leaders, you have to understand that you cannot do it all. A confident leader knows that they can share tasks and they are not threatened. You find you somebody in that team who can do. If you cannot do, and I keep going to PowerPoints because it's something that uh one of my bosses he hates technology. And so he's always delegating the techie part to somebody else. If you know you're not good at PowerPoints, delegate. That shows your strength as a leader. That shows, look, I know where I'm weak, so I need you to take this because I know you're strong in that area. Who can assist you? What do you do well? Okay. Absolutely. Delegating is the biggest thing to begin winning with. Yes, Nicole. It will free your mind when you learn to delegate. That is something that's I'm learning to do as well. Delegate, delegate, delegate. That does not diminish my talents and abilities, but the higher you go in leadership, the more you will have to learn to delegate because you can't do it all. You won't be able to do it all. Mentally, you can't do it all. Okay? So remember, delegate, know what you do well, and find people to assist. Your value is priceless when you maximize your confidence at all levels. Okay? Your value is priceless when you maximize your confidence at all levels. You have to know what you can do, who you are, what you cannot do, and how you can build your strengths and weaknesses in order to continually build your confidence. And confidence building, like I said, is from level to level. The confidence you have at level 1 is not the same confidence you're going to have at level 2. You have to consistently add to that arsenal. You have to consistently build. You have to consistently find wisdom and knowledge for the next level that you go to. And you have to actively work towards that confidence level in order to build it. Okay? All right, guys, that is the end of the presentation, but certainly not the end of the leadership series. I am continuing for 2 more Thursdays. We have 2 more parts to go in this series. We will do next Thursday, and then we will meet back again in December. We will not be here for Thanksgiving Day, okay? So we will meet next Thursday, and then that first Thursday the first Thursday in December. I think it's December 2nd. But I certainly want you to share this with your followers. I hope you have gained something on tonight. I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now, guys. I hope you have certainly gained something on tonight and that you have gained some tools. I'm sorry, y'all. You have gained some tools that are going to help you build your confidence. And like I said, as you go from level to level, you will definitely need to add to that. So with that being said, I want to share a couple of things that we have coming up for RG Coaching Consulting. We do have a Confident Not Conceited Masterclass that we are offering that will be held on December 11th. It will be a 2-part class. December 11th is the first class. You can register for that on my website, www.rgcoachingconsulting.org. And listen, it is definitely a class that you do not want to miss. Even if you are walking in confidence right now, it is something that you will want to add to your arsenal. You want to continue to build. So definitely go to the website and check out that flyer and information and register. If you know someone who needs that class, share the information with them and register. We are going to share. You get a confidence manual. You get the more tips. You get to interaction. You have assignments. It is an interactive class, and it's definitely one that's designed around you, and it helps you build the areas that you need to build in. Also, RG Coaching Consulting hosts the Pretty Distinguished Leadership Development Program for teens. And in times past, we have charged for admission to that program, but we are not charging for this spring cohort. It is absolutely free. It is going to be a competitive admission, though. So those of you who have teens that you think would benefit from this program, you can register at the website. Just click on the flyer and sign up for that, and then you'll receive additional information via email. But for those who want to sponsor, because the youth will need to, they will have a leadership manual. If you would like to sponsor a youth, you can also go to the website and click on that and purchase the manual for $10, and that will definitely go towards the youth who will be in attendance in this spring cohort. The cohort will begin in February of 2022, but we are starting registration now so that we can get everything solidified and get all of our teens registered and ready and get their materials out. You know, we take breaks during the holidays, so we definitely want to make sure that we have everyone's name that wants to attend before we break for the holidays, so that we can get their information and materials out on time and to them in a timely manner. So again, you have two opportunities for investment. Investing in yourself by enrolling in the Confident Not Conceited Masterclass, which will begin on December 11th. Go to the website, rgcoachingconsulting.org, to register. Or you can invest in our youth who you think would be who would benefit from the Pretty Distinguished Leadership Development Program. And you can invest and purchase a leadership manual for them for $10 on the website. Okay. Y'all see the fly that is my friend on tonight. He would not leave me alone. Okay. Say hello to Mr. Fly. Thank you so much for all of you who attended on tonight. It has been an awesome opportunity. I do hope to see you guys back next week. Bring a friend with you next week. Share this information. The playback will be available probably in about 30 minutes. So you can definitely share and share and share. Again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I will see you guys next week. Have a good evening.